Okay, guys. Well, this is our week number 6, and this is our jump ball all play work group session. We're gonna figure out what kind of skills you guys want to work on, and then we will toss you guys over into some different breakout rooms. And Brian or Troy is going to. Brian, I don't think he's going to be available. So Troy is going to be chaperoning one room. I'll be chaperoning another room, and we'll find somebody else to chaperone a third room. But I want to basically figure out the kinds of out of the 6 weeks you guys want to talk about setting up the three-way Facebook Messenger messages. You want to, some of us can play with the Facebook video, doing everybody starting a Facebook video. So those are 2 things that are a little bit technical that we want to pay attention to. The other ones is if somebody wants to talk through the new health assessment, and if you have some challenges with that, those are the 3 primary things that we're going to work on today. But I wanted to bring on Troy. So welcome, Troy. Good morning.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. So as we kind of look at this, Craig, and we wrap up our 6 weeks. One thing is we are, we're working on these things, right? We're constantly working on, using Messenger, using the script. I always go back to using the structure, and as you do that, the nice thing about that is that you're going to start seeing the results and really the growth. And, oh, wait, now I have how many clients this month? Oh, wait, I have no coach this month because I'm using the structure versus, I'll just do the same thing. Well, if the same thing is not working, then we want to use the right structure in how to grow. Mm-hmm. So I think there's some really, I think all of us on this morning, I think it's important to look at what is it you really want to work on. And maybe it's things that through the 6 weeks we taught, maybe there's things that just weren't caught. So it's good to really understand where that's at from you guys too.
Yep. So we have 3 different rooms. We've got, and we can make these whatever you guys want, but who out of you would like to do a, let's see here manually, we're going to go with 3 rooms. Who would like to work on trying and setting up their own Facebook Facebook Messenger video chat and play around with the video stuff? All right, so Rita, I'm going to assign Rita.
But I can't, because I can't. Don't do that, because I am heading to the health fair, so I can't.
What? That's just an excuse.
I know, but I'll be on Tuesday. Is that okay?
How can I, Rita? Change the question to how can I? Anyway, I get that. Okay. No problem. So Isabel, you wanted to do that, and who else?
Oh my God, I raised my hand. You got me right away.
All right. Oh, let's see here. We want to go to assign.
I think, Chris, did you have your hand up or no?
Karen?
I did.
Carolyn? Hi, Carolyn. Okay.
I did. And one thing.
Oh, Carolyn did.
One thing I wanted to say about the messenger, I sometimes when I'm typing in their name, the app just automatically comes up. So I don't know if you found that happening, but you know how when you start typing the name, it'll highlight if you're friends of theirs to tag them, quote unquote. Well, I find that in Facebook Messenger, the app just automatically comes up.
Fair enough.
Okay. I mean, most of the time, more times than not. So I didn't know if that was a phenomenon that I'm experiencing alone with technology.
Well, when I type at in the first letter, if there's only 3 people in there, it immediately finishes it. But I think it works kind of both ways. If you just start typing the first few letters, then it auto-populates.
And
so
I
when
was
it's all
just
working
thinking
right.
I was thinking that was a new way that they do that in Messenger, because when you're doing it in your Facebook page and you start typing, it tags them without the at. So
Right.
my thought was, oh, we're in Messenger. Is that, I thought it was connected to Twitter somehow.
Yeah.
It's like, am I going to tweet them now too?
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
I don't know. Anyway, so, but I haven't done the video as much. Facebook Messenger, no problem. So I'd like to practice the
Yeah, good. So we've got
video chat.
Isabel, Karen. We got Isabel, Karen, and Carolyn are the three people
Okay,
that want to.
one other question. Can you put as many people as you want in that video chat? Is there a limit?
I think there's a limit, but I think it's a lot, like maybe 14, 1, 2, 12.
Okay, that'd be great. We could practice it. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. And anybody else want to play around with that one? Nope. Okay, good. All right. Victoria, you wanted to be in there? No, you have a question. Let me unmute you.
Yes, I want to be in the one where you're typing it into the three-way, because I
Okay.
got the video.
Okay, so the second message is going to be, or the second room is going to be where we're just creating three-way messenger messages, and we'll do all that. Who wants to be in that one? We'll reset that up. So Victoria, you're in there. Anybody else? You can't be a three-way with only one person there. Carla, yes, you saved us. We need one more. Anybody else want to practice that a little bit?
I'll do it.
You'll do it. Okay, Bart. All right. There you go.
One thing too, Craig, Chris can help too, because he's really good. Facebook Messenger, he's probably better than that. Which does.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw Chris. I'm gonna throw Chris in that one then, and then I'm gonna throw you. Well, I'm gonna Facebook video. No, that's gonna be good. So it's gonna be 3 in one. There'll be 4 in the other, and then the last room will be would be Steve, Troy, and I. Don't have enough people for that because I want to go through the health assessment. Why don't we start? I'm just going to go ahead and throw Troy in one of those, and I'll go in the other one, and then we'll start with these 2 breakout rooms, and then we'll just kind of play around with a little bit of this this technology, and then we'll come back, and then we'll maybe talk through the health assessment a little bit. So. All right, so head off to your rooms. We'll spend about 15 minutes.
To get right on a video, I'm up every morning at 7 or 7:30, but
Right.
I wanted to get on this. I did about 4 more health assessments yesterday.
Good.
So I'm looking in the next coming week of possibly 4 to 8 new clients. They just haven't said yes yet, so I've got follow-ups to do. And I've really been working on Facebook. Really messaging. I got a health assessment just from Messenger and posting and really.
So when you go to the group, if you go to the boot camp work group with practice, so inside of theirs, he actually has the archives pinned to the top. So on your iPhone, it'll be the very first post that shows up in that group.
Okay, so I'm looking for. We're in a group there, huh? Okay,
Yep.
see more. Boot
If
camp
you're
work
on a
group.
phone,
There it is.
it shows up a little bit different on a phone.
Okay,
It says view pinned post.
and that would. Oh, there it is. I see it. It's gray. It's not blue or yeah.
That's
okay.
right. Yep.
Can you make it a teal?
Yeah, I would like pink. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
we're working on it. Yeah.
So so pinned posts, and then it has this little
So click on that. Click on that.
the archives
Mm-hmm.
just on the picture. Okay, very helpful.
That particular skill set is massively powerful if you do most of your connecting and stuff on your phone, because on the computer, when you're on Facebook on the computer, it just keeps it to the top of the list, but not on the mobile device. And so you want it to be pinned to the top so it's easy access. But when you're on the phone, you pretty much just scroll past that first little section and you miss it.
Yeah.
So
I don't have a camera on my computer. So, I mean, my screen, and so I do a lot of stuff through my iPad and this.
Mhm.
But
By the
I'll get in
way,
screen.
you see
Yeah,
this?
I know. Yeah, I know. I know.
It's like $20.
Not hard. How can
Yeah.
I?
Yeah. Well, and it's a write-off. It's a deduction against
Oh,
against your Optavia practice. And I've gone to like Ross, or oddly enough, Ross has these over in like a $12 bin.
It could be on my doorstep if I Amazoned it even.
Oh, just Amazon it, yeah. If you want a really nice one, if you want to spend a little bit more money, the C920 has a great microphone. Huh?
Why would we get a better one? Does it make you look better, or
yeah, it's high def and it's got stereo speakers, and it's it zooms in and out too. You notice how when I'm on here that I can zoom in and out, right? So I don't want this. I don't want my office to be shown, so I can zoom in with this, and then I can move around.
CP,
the C9, the C920.
C920.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so there you have that.
That helps. All right.
What? Okay, so now what are we doing in here?
We're practicing the three-way chat. So I just started a group chat there on Facebook, and I actually titled it, I want to show you guys how to rename a conversation, which is pretty cool. So if you guys didn't already know how to do that.
Do you want to share your screen so we can see what you're doing?
I can. That's what I'm doing now.
I thought you would.
There we go. All right. So you can do it one of two ways. Honestly, I found if I'm on Facebook and I'm also doing I'm messaging back and forth on Facebook, I get distracted so easy because there's lots of pretty photos and everything else. So if you're just planning on doing some work in there and focusing on chats, reaching out to some folks, I find that just going straight to messenger.com is a lot more helpful. I don't know about you, Craig, but in general, that's what I found, because then it cuts down the distractions. So in Messenger, it's straight up just people reaching out, and it's just the Messenger portion of Facebook. Now, what's nice is from here, just a second, you're actually, I started this group chat in here, and I need to move this. So here on the left-hand side, you see all the different names in here. And if you have, let's say you have a group chat going on, like any of the group chats I have going on with Troy, if I type in his name, they'll pull up. So, and there's a number of different ones. And you'll see that there's a number of different ones as far as their names. Like there's Christine Support Crew, Lorenzo's Coaching Exploration Chat. That's because you can actually change the name of the conversation. And it's actually easier to do on a mobile device, like on an iPad or an iPhone. So I don't know, are any of you using this right now, where you're actually changing the conversation name?
Yes.
Okay. So Steven, I'd recommend doing this because it'll help focus, especially if you have 4 or 5 chats going at the same time. So over here on the right-hand side, you have the option. This is where you can start a call with everyone. Go ahead, Victoria.
My voice just left. Naming it is crucial too. So do you put, all 3 of their names, boom, boom, boom? Do they see the name of the group? I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So if you look right here, so we started this doesn't have a name on it just yet. So you see that it's Carla, Craig, Stephen, and 2 others. And you can actually see who's a part of this group over here on the right-hand side if you're on a computer. Now, if you're on an iPhone or an iPad, like I said, it shows up a little nicer. In fact, here, let me show you something. So down here, see on the bottom right, do you see where we have the chat open?
Yeah.
So the nice part is it's all succinct in here. So you can see, you can hover over the names along the top and you can see who's in this group. And if you have more than like 7 or 8 people, this may be, a pretty long list. But what's nice is you can click the little gear symbol right here, and that's how you can make some modifications to it. Okay, so if you click on options, in here you have a couple different options to open this in Messenger, which will bring it up to that different tab. You have add files. You can actually throw some files in here that everyone can share. You can add friends to the chat. So if you wanted to add some additional people in here, the real benefit to doing this on Messenger versus doing it on your iPhone or your Droid is if you add someone or if you start a group chat on your iPhone or your Droid, you can't necessarily add more people to it. And when you do, they don't see the prior conversation. On Facebook, when you do this, they do. So anyone I add to this chat is going to see everything that we posted in there so far. So what's really nice is this is a great opportunity for, let's say it's you, let's say you're the mentor coach, and then you have another coach that has a client of their own. So there's the three of you in there, and maybe it's something a little more advanced that you haven't dealt with before, and you roll up to Craig, or you roll up to Stephen, or you roll up to Carla, whoever it is. You need to bring someone in. You can bring them in. They can look at the conversation. They can help, and if needed, then they can bounce out. And so that's extremely helpful. So then you don't have to have someone explain things multiple times.
And are you saying this is only done on the computer, not on the mobile device?
You can do it on either.
Okay, because I don't see the gear sign on my mobile device.
So you got an iPhone or a Droid?
iPhone.
Okay, so on an iPhone, if you're in one of those group chats, hang on one second. If you're looking at our group chat, in the top.
Well, is she in Messenger? First of all, is she on Facebook? Yeah. You're in Messenger, okay.
Yeah, I'm in Messenger.
Okay, so along the top, do you see where all of our names are right there?
Uh-huh.
Tap that, and when you tap that, it's going to pull up all the different options.
Okay, add people.
Yep.
Okay.
You see where that add people is? So what's nice is it's a little easier to use on the mobile device, which is nice. But what's really nice is I rename these conversations. So you can do this in here under edit conversation name, or you can do it from your mobile device, and it's going to be under if you just tap the name again on the top, and in fact, anyone can do this. This is what's really cool. So why don't you go ahead and try it, Vicki, from your...
So mine says nicknames. Is that an edit conversation?
So no, actually, you can edit the nicknames. So for instance, if I wanted to edit the nicknames, let's say Carla wants to be Maverick. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And let's say Craig wants to be Goose, right? Sorry, Goose.
Okay.
So what's nice is
Top Gun. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Now what's really cool about this is not only did their nicknames change, but it's tracked right there. It tells you who changed it, and it tells you what they are known as now. So what's really cool about that is that can help, if needed, that can help guide the conversation. But the conversation name is really the key piece. You want to edit the conversation name, and you can actually try this yourself.
Oh, I lost us. The cool group. Here we go.
Yep, there you go.
But okay, so Craig was waving, and I waved back, and that's really all. Oh, there, he's got glasses on now.
There you go.
So to rename it, because it usually says right at the beginning. So rename is the.
So if you're on your mobile device, go ahead and tap the top there where it says cool group.
Yep. Okay.
And then you have the option there where it says change name or change group photo.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't on mine. If I'm pushing that, let me see if it's. If I push the photo, same thing. If I push it, oh, okay. Okay, now it popped up, but it didn't pop up the other time. So change name, change group photo, but I'll just change our name. Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
Craig, you're a little distracting here with your pictures and your I'm trying to follow, and you're goofing me up here.
So did it change? I changed it to Top Gun.
See, there you go. Perfect. See, and that's how easy it is. Now, what's nice...
So if we all change it, I mean, it's all going to be something different to each of us.
No, it's actually going to show up. That's the group name now.
Okay, so whoever changes it, that's the name.
Yes, that's the name. Now, what's cool is anyone can change it at any time. So it's not like you can lock that down. Okay. So, I mean, and honestly, what I've been doing is you want to get into some duplicability. You want to make sure it's the same process every time. So what I've been doing is for my explorers, I've been doing coaching exploration, or, maybe let's say his name's Bob, Bob's Explore Chat, if he's just someone that's interested in the program and it hasn't really gone anywhere just yet. But just get yourself into that mode where you're doing it the same every single time with as little variation as possible, because then what's going to happen is your coaches on your team are going to follow that same example. And if you're switching it up all the time and it's constantly different, it's going to be a bit of a nightmare. So that's how you change the conversation name in there. Now, what's really cool is when you're actually in there, when you start talking to people, so if I start typing in Craig's name in here, it's automatically going to detect that. Do you see there on the bottom of the screen where it says @
The bottom of the screen where it says @ no, I see our pictures, so hold on a second.
I'm saying on the Zoom.
Okay.
If you're looking on the Zoom, we're at my Cheri screen right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so when I started typing in Craig's name, what's going to happen is it detects that he's part of the group, and it's automatically going to pull up that.
Could you get off the keyboard, please?
Okay,
What's
so
that?
you're on a computer, and okay, I kind of see that now. Hold on.
Okay.
Let's see. No, that didn't do it.
Bart, were you talking
I have
to
a
me or your
camera,
cat?
picture, and microphone on mine, but I don't have all the things you have. I have the first couple, but.
Oh, on the phone, yeah, on the phone it's going to look a little different. But the good part is, if you just start typing in Craig's name.
Oh, so Craig, okay.
Yep.
Just in the box, okay.
Yeah, absolutely. You're going to see it starts to pull him up. Now, the only time that's not going to happen is, like if I do that with Carla's, if I do that with yours, it's going to start to pull it up automatically. The only time it doesn't is if someone has, let's say, a specially pronounced name. Sometimes it won't detect it right away. But alternatively, you can hit the @ sign and then start typing in Craig.
Mm-hmm.
But
Right.
the cool part is, since there's only a few people in here, if you hit the @ sign, it's going to pull up all 5 people that are in this chat. And then you can direct it towards whichever one you're trying to get in touch with.
Now, who's never started a multi-person Facebook Messenger chat? Anybody here never started one? Carla. Okay. All right, Carla. So stop sharing your screen. You're up. So you know who's on this right now. So you're going to create a Facebook Messenger. And if you're not friends with everybody in here, just start it with as many people that are friends. Okay.
So you don't have to ask. She doesn't have to ask people to be friends.
No,
Well, she would have to be, but let's just say she's only friends with 3 of us. Okay. For the exercise right now, let's just do it with the 3 of us. So on your phone,
you have to be friends to do it, though.
you have to be friends. You don't?
Yeah, okay.
No, I just added Victoria and Steven, and they aren't on my friends list. But the reason I was able to do that is because I had to do some searching. So basically, I had to make sure I was selecting the right Victoria and the right Steven. When I started typing in Steven, I saw 30 of my friends show up on there. I had to type in your full name, and you weren't under Steve, you're under Steven. So that's why.
Victoria.
Well, and exactly. So that's why it's recommended. It's recommended. This is another reason why you want to add that person to your friends list, and especially if it's one of your coach's clients, you want them on your friends list so that you will start seeing what it is they're doing.
Mm-hmm. So
Last
Carla,
week I used.
I don't have an iPhone like everybody. I have a Droid.
That's fine.
And I'm not recognizing what Chris is saying. And Bonet and Troy have always started mine. So tell me, you guide me through this.
So go into Facebook Messenger and then choose New Message.
Well, I'm on Messenger. Oh, choose New Message.
Yep. And then you're going to start adding some names in there. I know we're friends, so add my name in there.
All right. Choose New Message. Okay, add. All right. So I go into search.
Yeah, you could search. You could just start typing their name, and it'll autocomplete.
Troy. Oh,
yeah, try me. And are you friends with Chris or anybody else in here?
Right. Yes.
Okay.
All right. So then I push on your name.
Yep. And then
I push. All right. I'm confused.
Okay. It's okay. You basically.
Okay. There's Craig.
So Craig.
And now how do I add?
How do you add another person? You should, if you just click on my name, it'll add my name into the list at the top, and then just start typing another person's name.
Okay. And I have to find search again. I have you.
Okay.
Can you just start typing a name?
I don't see where I can.
Just there's no keyboard. I'm going to share my screen just to see if it looks the same.
Here's Chris. Well, I went right to his page.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so just
Was I
watch the
supposed to
screen.
do
Slow
that?
down just a second. We're going to go one step at a time here. So you're in Facebook Messenger, right?
I am right now, yes.
Don't see that. So look at the screen here. Do you see something that looks pretty similar where you have at the top, you have a little square with a pencil in it? You probably already are past that. You're probably at this page here. Is this what yours looks like, kind of?
Yeah, I'm in a search right now.
Yeah. So if I type in Troy, then I click Troy. And then I have to just start typing the next name. Carla. Then I click your name. Do you see how there's two names at the top now?
Get somebody else to do. Okay, Seymour.
We are going to fight through this, Carla. And you're just going to have to feel the burden of training.
Okay, I got Chris.
You got two people in at the top of the screen?
Yeah, I'm getting there.
Good. Yep.
Now.
So now down below, look at the Zoom window. Do you see where it has the thumbs up and the smiley face, and then that little window that has the A in it? Did you see that? Right above the keyboard. Look at Zoom, not your phone.
Oh.
Yep. Look at what I'm
okay,
showing.
I'm looking at Zoom.
Yeah, do you see where it has the big A and the little A? About midway down on the screen, right above where it says I'm.
Yes, okay.
So click
So
in
I'm
there.
putting them in on the computer.
Yeah, no. I'm showing you what my phone looks like, and then you're going to look at your phone,
Okay.
right? So you're going to type in there, and you're just going to type in hi or something. So does your screen look like this? New message? Does it say new message at the very top?
Oh, Craig, I'm getting a call I absolutely have to take.
Oh, well, you know what? Maybe
I am so sorry.
That's okay.
Go take the call.
It's one.
Go ahead and take that call. Okay.
Will you forgive me?
Oh, you go take that call. Well, just make sure.
Thank you. It is very important. Oh,
Yeah.
They hung up. Dang it. Okay.
Now.
All right, I'm going back.
I'll call back.
Okay.
I hope. Okay. Now, okay. I got it. All right, so I'll put Victoria in here.
Yep. And then just type in hello, and then it doesn't cook the group together and make it a thing until you say something.
All right, that's my call coming back.
Yep. Go ahead and mute
Will you
yourself.
forgive me if I do this?
You go ahead and
It's
mute
very
yourself.
important.
Just mute yourself. Yep.
Okay.
Okay. All right, Bart, you had something.
Yeah, last week when I was trying to set one of these up, I forget who it was, but who the other person was, but there were numerous with the same name, and I had a hell of a time, and the one I wanted wasn't showing up. But I found that if I typed in their city name, if I knew where they lived, along with their name, it took me there.
Mm-hmm.
So you can add more
Info.
differentiation by adding their town.
Did you do comma, or did you just kind of just keep typing with spaces?
Just type it in, Bart Dufresne, Monrovia, and it isolated, got rid of all of the ones that didn't have Monrovia in the person profile.
Great tip.
Yeah, it took me quite a while to find the person, and I knew it was a person because I was seeing him on the screen.
Yeah.
But there was one of us has other people, but finally I was able to just add their.
And people that you're Facebook friends with will come to the top of the list.
Yeah, but this was somebody that I wasn't friends with. It was one of our group, but not one of my teams.
Yep. All right. And so, Victoria, I know you've started one of these. Sounds like Bart has. Steve, have you've started a three-way? Okay.
Yep.
So it looks like we've all kind of got this down. Victoria, go ahead.
So I looked up the new client support message while we were all doing that on the tools and documents in Google Docs. Like, I went into your pinned thing and it only comes up in view only and I can't print it. How do I change the view only? Anybody know?
Well, it's set to view only because we don't want you to customize or be able to change anything. So
I don't want it. I just wanted to print it. So how do I print it? If it's
well,
view
you
only?
wouldn't print it from your phone. You'd do it from your computer.
Okay, there you go. Got it.
That's the easiest way. There might be a way to print it if you hold.
I have an air printer, and I can.
Yeah, so hold down on the document, and then does it allow you to print?
I don't know. It says select all and copy. So, and I'm looking at all the things to do, print layout, and I looked at that, and it comes up nice. But it doesn't give me the option to print it because it's view only.
Sometimes if it's a iPhone 6 or 7 that has the deep press, you can deep press and then pull up, and then it'll give you some more options.
Deep press. What's that mean? Where do you do that? Just on the document?
Push a little harder on the phone. It sounds crazy. Add a little more pressure.
Really?
And then swipe up. Yeah, no
If you
joke.
have an iPhone 5, it'll never work. 7s definitely do it. What size? What phone do you have?
I have a 6 Plus.
6 Plus. 6 Plus may not have it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll figure it out. I can't email it to myself, I don't think. Okay. Oh, share and export. Ooh. Found it.
There you go.
Share and export.
Perseverance. Look at you.
Now look at you. It's the confidence.
Well, but see, but what just happened is a huge thing. It's usually in there, but you have some people saying it's in there. It's in there. Keep looking, and then you find it, and you're like, oh, it's been here the whole time.
Not under anything I would think it was under, but there you go.
Yeah, because it's Google.
Okay, it's printing.
That's one thing about the difference between Google and Apple. Apple usually it's kind of where you're looking. Google, it's somewhere weird. I don't know.
Okay.
It's just
You're not an Apple fan, are you?
No, I'm a huge Apple fan. I used to work for Apple.
I can tell.
Yeah.
That was.
Oh, you're being facetious. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go back to the main room, and we'll see.
Thank you.
We'll see what else we're gonna do. Yep.
Great stuff.
You're muted.
Yep.
That was awesome.
Doing my best mime. The rest of the gang will be back here shortly. They're probably in a video chat. Now, Chris is either making a really cool.
Point this out to me, Creed.
I see 250 people are signed up on this, boot camp, and there's only like 14 of us here today. Is that true?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, there was the first section there was 35, but the work group, some people don't stay for both hours. They join in on Tuesdays.
Well, they're missing out. That's all I got to say.
Well, there you go. Yeah, that was real practical.
Yeah.
What that means is we're the top 5%, Victoria.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
How's it feel to be in the top 5? So did you guys?
2 or 3.
So we did the Facebook three-way messenger creation, and we learned a ton. Did you guys? How'd it go on the video side?
We all video chatted. I learned a ton because I video chatted one-on-one, but I've never done it in a group before. So that was awesome.
Now, once you first had to start with creating the group message,
which I didn't realize you. See, I thought you could go into Messenger and just add the people to the video you want, but they have to be added in a group first. Then you can video chat, which is a very important detail to not screw up.
And if you think about it, in our workflow, we already have the group message created. So going to a group video is just one click, right?
And I think it's easier than Zoom. Yeah. I think it's easy. I usually get people to just download the Zoom app on their phone because on the computer it's a nightmare for most people. Yeah. So, that's awesome. Yeah. I learned something.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And if Zoom works too. No, by all means, Zoom definitely is a fine thing. It's a good idea that they're familiar with Zoom if they're going to be doing our Habits of Health webinar Wednesdays, right? Who knows when that starts?
5:30 p.m. Pacific.
That's right. What's up? And if they do have the Zoom app and then they want to join live, they already have it and they're familiar with it. But Facebook Messenger is.
I got a question about that. If you're in a group video on Facebook, so you can't add somebody in the middle of the video. You can?
Not in the middle of the video.
No.
I don't think you can.
Okay. All right.
But you can add it anytime. You can add it any time to the chat.
Right.
So anytime you have obviously more than two, and if you grow in a group or whatever you're doing, you can add or you can leave the group. I believe, Craig, you start the chat. I believe you can kick people out too. Is that correct? Or anybody can do that.
Chris, do you have?
No, seriously.
No, I'm curious because it says add people, and when I'm in a video chat, it says add people, and I've never clicked on it because I only want to talk to the people that are in that particular.
Right.
But you can just add the ones there. You can't add them. You can't add anybody else. Just the ones that are in.
So
your chat.
that's a benefit of the Zoom is you can, in the middle of a chat, you can say, hey, I forgot, let's get this guy on the line, shoot him something, and they can jump in, where Facebook, you cannot do that.
Well, actually, there is a way. If you add somebody to the group, you can ring them, I believe. Now, that's something that don't quote me on that, but I think you can. Once you're in the chat, let's just say you have, let's say you're using your phone, okay, and you have your computer in front of you too, and you're on Messenger, and you're videoing on your phone, but you have Messenger open on your computer. You could probably add somebody in there. Okay. Now, I'm not 100% sure if you can do that or not, because that's a good question.
It's more challenging for sure.
A little bit, but I think it's doable. Right. But then again, you kind of look at it. If you're wanting to bring somebody, remember you can bring somebody into a chat and you can take them right back out like that.
Right.
So that's not hard to do, and that's what I like about video messenger. And as Craig and I are talking about this, it's very easy to use once you learn how to use it. Same thing with Zoom, but Zoom is a little bit more. There's a couple more steps for that new client. That's why we use video. Right. Yeah, that's why we use video messenger, because it's right there. If they have Messenger downloaded on their phone and they're utilizing it anyway, it's easy for them to use it, and they don't have to put a number in or anything. So we're just trying to get the basics down to where we can move to Zoom.
Messenger's a lot better on the client side when in the acquisition side.
Right.
And then as they transition to a client and then beyond, that's where Zoom steps in.
Right. So, I mean, once they participate in, and Craig was just saying the Habits of Health call or Habits of Health Zoom on Wednesday. Once they've done that, then yes, it's the floodgates are open. You can do it with them. But at the beginning stages, I almost guarantee you it's 10 times easier for them to do the Messenger video chat versus doing Zoom, because they're going to get say if they don't have a camera, right? Oh, I don't have a camera, or I don't have a microphone hooked up. How many times have you heard that? Or it's not, you see them, but you don't hear them, or you hear them, but you don't see them.
And I ran into a situation where the person I was trying to connect to, she had a company computer, and so she didn't want to download anything on that. And her husband is a photographer, and she's like, I'm not touching his computer, because if I screw that up, that screws up his business.
Right.
So, she didn't have an opportunity to do the Zoom, so Messenger.
This is the thing, but most people have a smartphone.
Right.
They can do Zoom from their smartphone, without a question, unless they have a flip phone. But if they have a smartphone, they can do that. But the problem is, it's a couple extra steps.
Sure.
And people get perplexed on that, and we want them to be seamlessly, right, to where they come in and they understand, and then it's not hard for them, because that first week, as you're doing program, as you're doing things, you want to connect with them. Maybe even the night before, you want to do that call, which is cool. You can do it right there from Messenger. And if you want them from there, you want to add in your mentorship. So there's a couple different ways to look at it and how you could utilize that. So cool. Go ahead, Craig.
Yeah, I was just gonna walk through like the health assessment and I was gonna pull it up and just have you guys. We can talk through the health assessment, but quite honestly, I have a couple things we can say about the health assessment, but in the end, we can make this about whatever you guys want to talk about. So if you guys have something different.
I have to apologize. I have to get to my kid's baseball game, so I got to jump off here. But thank you very much, guys. I appreciate it.
Yep.
Is this the last one?
It was Saturday or Tuesday will be the last one.
Right.
Last work group. So we're done with the boot camp.
Yeah.
We're done with the boot camp until, I don't know, until
start up another one.
Yeah, we might later on. I think through the holidays and stuff, Craig and I kind of talked about a little bit. I think we might kind of not do the boot camps through the holidays, but we'll.
That's the benefit of the recordings.
Yeah, then that's true.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Yep.
You're welcome.
Awesome. See you, Steve.
So the health assessment, I'm just going to share my screen here. One thing that we've been doing with this particular health assessment is depends on where someone's at. What I found is if someone's really interested in getting started, I may, like they're really, really ready to get going. I may start with number 2 and then come back to number 1. Or sometimes one of my coaches starts with number 1, does a lot of work here, describe health, blah, 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 tells him his story. And then after I tell my story, then I go into the how we're going to get them there and do they want to get started. And so it's almost like give them an opportunity to say yes. If they haven't, it just depends on how they feel. You may go all the way into number 2 and get all of that stuff. But quite frankly, number 1 is a really good idea to help them see where they are and where they want to be and show them how to get there. And then after you order their kit, you could do number 2 in a couple days from then. Hey, let's set up another meeting and go through a little bit more details just to make sure I get a good idea of your daily rhythm. And one thing that I was thinking about when doing that is, well, what if the 5-in-1's not going to be a good program for them? Well, does that change how I would place their first order? What do you guys think?
Mm-hmm.
You think it would?
Yeah.
Would I still order them? And so why would it change the way I place their first order? Let's say they wanted a maintenance plan, or they were a nursing moms or something like that.
Well, then you would go to it would change because you wouldn't order the as many fuelings you'd need to do the maintenance if they were looking for something else. You know, I have a client I'm signing up Sunday who's in renal failure, and we got to put him on the 4-2-1. I talked to nutrition services and his doctor. So I will probably order him.
Yeah. Here's something that I would challenge the thought process is, what if you still ordered them the same kit? It just lasted them longer.
Well, and that was the other thought too, that I would just do that.
We may use, what I want you guys to think about is the tools that we use. You can use, let's say you have a shovel in your garage. Well, you can use that shovel to do a lot of different things, depends on how you use it. You can use a hammer to pull out nails or to put nails in, right? And so our fuelings are healthy nutrition, super clean label, all that stuff, ways of fueling your body. And we can use those, and we can eat 5 and then 1, and it does something. We can eat 4 and 2 of this other thing and a piece of fruit. That does something different, slightly different. We can use 3 of them and then 3 lean and greens. That does something different too. But the fuelings that we provide, they're the same fuelings. And so think about, this is just our toolkit, and we're going to choose how to use it. So what I do is I order the Optimal Favorites kit because I want everybody to have the books. They can't read something they don't have. They may never read it, but they can't guarantee they won't read it if they don't have it, right? So I get them the kit, and then depending on how we use the kit, let's say that they have the one thing you want to be careful of is allergies. If they have a soy allergy or if they have a gluten allergy or something like that, then that would change the kit. But whether they're nursing moms or maintenance or 4-2-1 or teen or any of that kind of stuff, the normal kit works for all of those people, and it's just is how you apply the tools. And I want to make sure that you guys realize you don't have one program called the 5-in-1. You guys have about 6 different programs that you can offer. And they all have common tools and things that you use. Just depends on what you're trying to do. So at the end, good.
Well, I was going to say, yeah, I do that too, Craig. And the other thing I wanted to say is I've done quite a few of the health assessments. I love it. Love it. And I totally agree with something. I think the health assessments, I was doing one with a coach, and we were doing it together. And she said, well, you didn't go down and ask the question 1, 2, 3, right in order. And what I have found is exactly what you said. It depends on who you're talking to, how much information they're giving, how open they are to you as to whether you can just go. I think number 1 is the most important question. I've always asked that. Why do you want to get, or, what is it you're looking for to get healthy? You got to ask them that question. But how intense you go. But I will tell you, when you're describing the program, I have just gone and read that invite word for word. There's no need to change that. I think it's so beautifully written. I mean, you might add your own little, this and that, but I encourage everyone to just read invite from top to bottom and don't change it up. It works great. Mm-hmm. And the other thing, I printed out the questions. So now that I've shown you everything that we've talked about today, how do you see that this program differs? Ask that, and then I know where you are. I think I know where you're at, and I know I can get you to where you're going. The only question is when you want to get started. I actually have a printout of that. Literally, that is the best. I mean, I always did everything in my own way, but I'm here to tell you that those questions at the end, reading the invite, and then kind of making the health assessment your own works really well and flows really well. You don't have to change the wheel at all. Those closing questions, it's kind of a closing question. That's it. Because you know what? Once they tell you where this program is different, you can gauge their interest right with that question. I think that's one of the most important questions you can ask. Mm-hmm. And I didn't ask it in that way before, and now I am every time, and I'm gauging it almost tells you exactly when they're ready to get going. Mm-hmm. Because they'll say, well, I think this is different, but blah, 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 blah. Just stop and listen to what they're saying, because then you'll know when to ask for follow-up just from that question.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to say that. It's so powerful.
Yeah. Bart.
Yeah. I had to step away for a second, but when we were talking about abbreviating the order or cutting back on the order, I tried that for a client who wanted to try it for just a couple of weeks. And so she just wanted to buy 9 boxes or whatever, 7, 8 boxes. And I tried to talk her out of it, and I couldn't. So, but then when she got the box, then it occurred to me and her, I guess, you got enough, you have to eat the same thing for 15 days. Maybe it was 5 boxes. You have to eat the same, you can't.
There's no variety.
Change it up. So I think what you said, order the full thing, because in the first 2 weeks you can try all 21 things, mm-hmm. and you get bored if you eat the same 5 boxes, unless you're like us and we only eat 5 things anyway. But
you have to find your 5, and you got
you have to find it. And if you only got 5 things to eat, that means you're eating the same thing every day. And if you don't like it, then you're screwed.
One thing you said there, Bart, which was interesting, is you present the value, because I ordered 2 weeks when I first started this program, thinking that I was saving money. And I was spending less money at the time, but I wasn't saving money because I paid shipping and I didn't get the 5 free boxes, which is over $100. And so and then I did the second 2 weeks. And then I went,
really got it.
what did I do? Oh my goodness. So I just and I was on unemployment and, a whole thing at the time. So it was just like dumb. And so I learned the hard way many times. And, but they, so you just present the value. Well, it is going to actually spend more money, but in the end, when it's all said and done, you're going to get free shipping, which saves you roughly 25 to $30. And it's going to give you $114 worth of fueling, and so that is the best value. And, but then you let them make the call. So
turns out she loved it. She's going like crazy and she's raving about it. So
way to go. Yeah.
It worked.
Well, and in the end, Bart, you let her decide because she's the one. You're helping her get what she wants. And, you both learned something in that situation. So, all right. Who else? Anybody else? Let me go back to this health assessment just for 1 minute here. Okay. Is that coming up right? You guys can see that on my screen? Yeah. So, I'm not sure if I'm sharing the right screen. I think I am. Yeah. So anyway, so as you go through this awaken piece, you might see how they're feeling, what they're doing. And if you know where they are and you showed them how to get there, you might try that here. And if they say, well, I'm not, I'm thinking I have a few more questions. One lady just yesterday, she said, well, this seems like it's pretty good, but I'm just not sure how it all works. I'm wondering if you can send me some more information. And I said, well, I can send you lots of information. What specifically do you want me to send you? Because I don't want to send her a bunch of irrelevant stuff to just waste her time. And she goes, well, I'm just not exactly kind of sure what do I eat? And I was like, oh, well, let me just answer that question for you now. And so I walked through it again. And so she's like, oh. And then it came to the conclusion where she thought this was going to be $400 added expense. And I said, this isn't an added expense. This is you're reallocating money you're spending right now. And we're just spending it differently, the same dollars. And it may be a little bit more. It should cost you a little bit more than you're spending now because you're going to get me and you're going to get a lifestyle change that you're not getting at your grocery store. And so just some different ways of helping them to say, this is not new money. This is reallocating old money, and it's just swapping budgets.
Changing grocery stores.
Exactly.
But you save money because you're not drinking anymore.
Yep.
You could save a lot of money on booze.
Yeah.
A very important part of the health assessment, I think, in that regard, is asking them how many times they go out to eat and where they go. Because once you have that information, I always ask, well, what do you think you spend a week on groceries? And I work with a lot of truck drivers, of course, they're telling me $30 a day, $40 a day. But when you ask that, that's where you reiterate that when you're talking about value versus cost. And it's really powerful because people, I tell people, you don't know what you're spending. You have no idea because you're doing it every day. A few dollars here, a few dollars there. So if you can really dig into that part of the health assessment, you can overcome that a lot easier because they've given you the information. So
perfect. Awesome. So a couple people that I know, Isabel, you're walking, but Karen, you're there. Do you have, was there something that you're stuck in? We just have a few more minutes. Are you feeling pretty good?
Well, I'm not so much stuck on the health assessment. I really like that. So I don't have too much trouble with the health assessment. I'm going to have to find some partners to help me with the messenger stuff because we were just getting to me to try to implement it and I couldn't do it. So
no worries.
I'll work with somebody on that.
Well, and I'm going to give you just one little thing here that you can do. If you go to messenger.com, so write these steps down.
Okay.
First step is go to messenger.com.
Okay.
Okay. And then, so you can see it on my screen.
Oh.
That's what it's going to look like. It may look like this. It might have a little sidebar on the right that has some stuff here, right? And then it's funny. Lynn Ann goes, sorry, I can't make it to poop camp this morning. She meant to say boot camp. And I said, boot camp?
That's a good one.
I need to have the poop emoji in there. But anyway, so you have this message here. Now, if I go up on the top left, you see where I'm pointing? There's this little gear.
Yeah.
And if you click that gear, and then you go down to active contacts. What active contacts means, it's only going to show you people in the message window that are online right now. So watch this. Susan Cox is online, Jay Irwin, Don Carpenter, all these people are online right now. And it's going to populate. There'll be more people here that'll show up. And so if you were going to create a three-way messenger and do a test right now, do you think that it would be valuable to know that they're actually online right now?
Mm-hmm.
Right? It would, wouldn't it? And so, so you can start with Messenger, click down to people that are active now, and then just, find somebody. So I could do Susan. I could do a new message. And then I can type in Susan because I know she's online, right? And then I could do who else is online right now, right? And then so you might just say, hey, can we do a test? And so you ask 2 or 3 people, hey, can we do a test? And then you create the three-way message.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I'll go into that thing to help me to figure it out because I don't even see the gears up there. So I'm on Messenger and I don't see the gear.
Share. So let's just try this out. If you want to stay, by the way, the rest of you can stay. I'm going to finish up with Karen and we're just going to nail this right now. But we'll see you Tuesday morning if you want to join us again for the final Tuesday morning. And you can hang out here and I'm just going to walk Karen through this. So on your computer, Karen, share your screen so I can see.
On my computer, not on my phone.
Right. Everything I was just showing you was from the computer.
Oh, see, I was on my phone.
Okay, so there. Oh, I love it when that happens. I love it when you have that. Oh, because you got it. That's there the magic happens. Yeah. So pull up your browser, Safari or whatever it is you're using. Yep. And then go to messenger.com. There you go. Yep. Oh, that's message.com, so that's something different. Messenger.
Come on. Messenger.
Yeah, that's it right there. Yep. And then, yep. And you see the gear at the top right next to you? If you click that and go down to active contacts, then it'll show you people. If there says a green dot, they're online right now.
Right.
So you right. So that way, if you're ever trying to start up a conversation with somebody, if there's not a green dot, they're away from their phone, and it may not, you may not want to actually have a conversation with them. So let me show you one other thing here. And so if we actually go to facebook.com.
You cannot do that same thing on your phone, or can you?
You can. Yeah, you'll be able to see them. But when I have on my normal Facebook, do you see all these people's names over here on the right?
Right.
You see the green dot?
Where?
Like right next to the people's names, there's a green dot.
I don't see green dot. Oh, I know. That's because this is covering it.
Okay.
The Zoom was covering it.
Yeah.
Yes. Sure.
Now this person says 43 minutes. That means they've been away for 43 minutes. So I'm not going to probably start up a conversation with her. But these other people that are green dots, I might want to start up a conversation with these people.
Right.
I mean, if I'm trying to just start a conversation and salt and forward, this is a good way to do it because these people are online right now.
Yeah, I've done that. I have seen that, so I have gotten that, but it's all been on the computer, and so I'm more proficient when I'm working off of my computer than whenever I'm trying to work off of my phone for these things. And most of the time when I'm doing like the 3-ways, I'm on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where it kind of breaks down because it's
here
not
you
as.
go. So here's the thing. Do you see at the top of the thing it says messages?
Yes.
What's the next one over?
Active.
There you go. These are people that are online right now.
Okay, but where do I see, if I want to start a 3-way call, how do I do it from here?
Well, I'm not talking about just 3-way calls, but if you want to do a 3-way call, in the top right, do you see the square with the pencil in it?
Yes.
Yeah. You click that. And if like Dayton's got a green dot next to his name, but Martin doesn't. Do you know the difference?
Yeah, one's on and one's not.
Yeah. So if I want to start a 3-way message, I can look at all these people that are my friends, or I can sit where it says, I can just start typing, let's type you, K-A-R-E.
So, but that's not the video. This is a message with 3-way. It's up there with the writing. That's
you have to start the 3-way message first. See, it doesn't even give me the video chat option. So now I'm going to go Troy and watch this. I have to type in something. Now, do you see what happened in the top right?
Oh, that's why, because I keep looking for the way to do a 3-way video before I type in.
Yeah, you have to actually start. You have to say something in order for it to create the group.
Okay, because people kept saying, well, look for the video. And it's like, okay, so I just got to go to that little thing and start typing people's names in.
Type names, but then you have to say, once you have everybody in the group, you got to say something. So it cooks it all together.
Okay.
Then you can do a video chat.
Okay.
Man, you got double your price for your money's worth today.
I did. Okay.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to finish up here. We'll see you for those that want to join us on Tuesday morning. And thanks for all your hard work.
I can do it.
Thanks a lot, Craig.
I love that, Karen.
I just started typing your name in. I'm going to type in Bart.
Beautiful.